Hello, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Homeopathy Super Sessions by Dr. Jarvis. Today, we'll be doing the fourth part of Brief Life and Contribution of Early Pioneers after Honeyman. So today, we'll be studying Dr. Rajendra Datta. Also, he was a very famous Indian homeopath from Calcutta. So let us see something about his life and his contribution. Dr. Rajendra Datta was known as Dr. Babu Rajendra Dutt. He hailed from Calcutta. He was born in 1880 in the famous Dutt family of Wellington Square, Calcutta. He is called the father of Indian homeopathy. So in the Viva, they may ask you, who's known as the father of Indian homeopathy? Answer is Dr. Rajendra Datta. Contributions, his clinical trials with homeopathic medicines have influenced many homeopaths all over the world. So he was very famous homeopaths. Not only people from India, but also around the world, they were influenced by him. He invited Dr. Toner to Calcutta and helped him in establishing his practice at Calcutta. He played an important role in the establishment of the native homeopathy hospital and free dispensary. For some reason, dispensary did not run properly. Hence, Rajendra Babu took up the task of practicing homeopathy himself and proved his skills of prescribing. He brought homeopathy into high esteem by curing celebrities like Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Raja Sir Radhakanta Dev, and many other noted personalities. So he became very famous and he went on treating many celebrities also. Vidyasagar was suffering from a chronic disease of asthma, which allopaths could not improve a bit. Under treatment of Rajendra Babu, he recovered totally. He also cured gangrene of the foot of Maharani of Shorapur and greatly impressed Raja Sir Radhakanta Dev Bahadur of Shorapur. He cured many cases recommended by Vidyasagar. This in turn influenced Vidyasagar very much and he became an ardent follower of homeopathy. In the year 1863, he treated his relative of the royal family by the name of Raja Sir Radhakant Bahadur. He was suffering from traumatic gangrene of the foot. At the request of the royal relative Rajendra Babu took on the task of curing him. Within a few months of treatment, Raja recovered from his illness in a very impressive manner. He also converted many MD doctors to homeopathy. One was Dr. M.L.Sirkar, who was so impressed that he gave up his medical degree. Many cases that were incurable by many leading allopathic practitioners, including Dr. M.L.Sirkar, were cured and improved by Rajendra Babu. He then started the Institute of Cultivation of Science and was instrumental in propagating homeopathy far and wide in India. The death, Rajendra Babu expired at the age of 71 years on the 5th of June, 1889. He left behind homeopathy in Bengal on a firm sound and on a wide footing. Let us go to the next great personality, Dr. Mahendralal Sirkar, well-known physician who treated both Sir Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda. Dr. Mahendralal Sirkar was born on 2nd November 1833. He was born in Paipara, a village 18 miles away from Howrah city of West Bengal. He lost his father, Taraknath Sirkar, at the age of 5 years. He had his elementary education in a nearby village school under the guidance of the late Babu Thakur Das De. At the age of 7 years, he studied in a free school by the name of David Hare. In 1850, he obtained a scholarship which enabled him to take up his college education. In 1855, he took admission to medical college. In 1863, he passed the MD examination from the Calcutta University and he stood first. Now, conversion to homeopathy. In his initial days of practice, Sircar was against the homeopathy system. He denounced the homeopathy system in his speech delivered at the inaugural function of the Bengal branch of the British Medical Association. He was secretary of the association for 3 years and later on became the vice president. Dr. M.L.Sirkar was asked by his friend to review Morgan's philosophy of homeopathy for a local lay journal. He took up the task, but being an honest man, he could not write the review before subjecting homeopathy to clinical trials. To his astonishment, he found that the small doses of homeopathy acted wonderfully in combating the disease condition. So again, a turning point in his life. He was to review for a friend Morgan's Philosophy of Homeopathy, but being a very honest man, he could not write the review until and unless what he read, he wanted to see whether it was right or wrong. So he started clinical trials in homeopathy, and to his amazement, he found that the small doses acted wonderfully in treating the diseases. On the 16th day of February 1867, on the fourth annual meeting of association, he presented the paper in the meeting held at the British Medical Association Calcutta branch, in which he openly declared his conversion to homeopathy. The title of the paper was On the Supposed Uncertainty in Medical Science and on the Relationship between Disease and the Remedial Agents. Many of the allopathic medical personalities ridiculed him for the decision, but failed to break the fate of Dr. Sircar. So many people ridiculed him, saying that, why have you converted yourself to homeopathy? But Dr. Sircar stood firm and he continued. The conversion to homeopathy brought a lot of hardship to his great personality. So once he got converted to homeopathy, of course, his road was not full of roses. It was a great hardship. In January 1868, he started the Calcutta Journal of Medicine. The journal was instrumental in spreading the science of homeopathy in India. In 1869, he published an article in the Calcutta Journal of Medicine, The Desirability of National Institute for the Cultivation of the Physical Science by the Natives of India. In 1867, he started the Institute of Indian Association for Cultivation of Science. 1883, the Government of India empowered upon him companionship of the Indian Empire, that is CIE. 1898, he was conferred with the highest degree of honorary doctorate in the Faculty of Law. He held many prestigious posts. In 1879, was appointed as a Fellow of the Calcutta University. 1887, he was appointed as Sheriff. From 1887 to 1893, he was appointed as member of the Bengal Legislative Council. He also wrote many articles. Hahnemann, the father of scientific medicine, physiological basis of psychology, therapeutic of plague, sketch on the treatment of cholera. Through his journal, Sircar published the therapeutic utilities of around 160 drugs used in conditions like constipation, dysentery, cholera, diarrhea, etc. Dr. Sircar passed away on 25th February 1904. He was suffering from recurrent attacks of bronchial asthma and venereal fever. So that's all. The last part 5, will be coming up soon. Hope you like it. Thank you.